can imagine though if I was on a date, a first date especially.
You're gonna want to buy the posh water.
No, not that I'd want to buy the posh one. I think I would have bought the water because being in Five Guys, the water, as far as I
Yeah.
understand, is only water. But I think I would have bought it.
No, I get that because there's certain restaurants I go to and I just buy. I want to buy a bottle of water. I don't want your tap water.
Yeah, but also like, it's like so you want to show that you're not cheap on the date.
So you want to do flashy, just
No, no,
with
no,
water?
no, no, no. This is like,
Not
there's-
even champagne. He's quenching at the glass of water.
Welcome back for another episode of Juice and the Sauce. As always, you're joined by your two co-hosts, myself, Lasimba, and Nastasha.
Hi. Sorry, I'm just out here watching myself because I feel like I need to prep myself up. Like, we look hella cozy.
So it should be, no?
I'm like
we've
hella
been
Yeah, I'm hella cozy. I feel like, yo, at any point, if you see my head just like tilting, like, I'm just resting my eyes. Like we say, I'm not sleeping, I'm resting my eyes.
But you've only had we were saying off camera, off recording, that you had, 1.5 hours sleep or something like that?
Okay, so guys, it's been a cake fantastic weekend. I don't even know what that means, but it's been a cakealicious weekend. I've been I don't think, like, for the past 2 weeks, I get these bursts of like 2 weeks off and like 1 week off or 2 weeks off or 3 weeks, whatever. But these past 2 weeks have been quite intense. It's been mad. So let's just say from Thursday night up until today, which is Sunday, I've only had like about 4 hours sleep, and last night it was an hour and a half, and I even pushed it. Like, it wasn't even last night, it was early this morning. I literally went to bed at I touched my pillow at 5 and woke up at 6:45 and then continued.
Yeah.
And I did 2 deliveries today, one for a 3-tier cake and one for a 2-tier cake, and I am shattered. But I don't know how I'm still here. I don't even know how I'm awake. I'm just going off adrenaline right now, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm actually loving it. I'm actually really loving it. Usually I'm just like, I'm so over this, I just want to get to my bed, I'm just done. But I'm actually really loving it. I'm really enjoying it. And I don't know, it's like the other day,
Yeah.
but I had to ask myself, Sasha, was it the little amaretto and apple juice that you had that's making you want to love this even more, or are you actually loving it? And yeah, I'm loving it.
Do you think that's because of it's your thing, your baby, and just seeing it grow? Like,
You know what? There are times. Last year, I suppose, in reflection, last year I wasn't enjoying it as much as I felt I should be enjoying it. Only because I felt like there was so many added extras that it was just unnecessary. Why do I have these added extras? These added extras aren't actually helping me, or it's just like you've got other pressure from other people. And last year, for a couple of years now, my business didn't feel like it was mine. I felt like I was running it, but I was being puppeted. I was the puppet and being puppeted by other people. But whereas now I've got like full control and I feel comfortable, I'm growing into my space and I'm feeling comfortable. I don't really think about what's happening or what I've got next week. I just focus on the here and now and really be present with the cakes that I make and create. And like, honestly, it's the dreamiest thing, man. Like, I can't describe to you how good it feels just to be in that space one-to-one and just really just living in that moment to produce something that I'm gonna be hella proud of. And I don't say that I wasn't proud of any other cakes I've made, but there's just something different about the time that I'm living in now that I'm just like, wow, I'm scooping it up and I'm enjoying it and I'm just really soaking it up. Like, yeah.
So, like, to bring, I guess, some value to like the audience, how do you think they can, learn from what you've done?
What learn from me today? Come to my decorating session. No, I'm joking. I am doing decorating sessions towards the end of this year, though. I think really it's just about living in the moment. I think sometimes we get so caught up about, is this going to make me blow? Is this going to make me blow? Or what can I do? What design should I do just for the gram? It's not about the gram, it's about you. And that's the thing. All of my cakes are really about me and doing what I do best. It's like I got a message today. Someone said, nobody does cake like you. No one can cake like you. And for somebody to say that, I say that to myself every single day. Don't get it twisted. I wake up and I go to myself in the mirror. I'm like, Natasha, you're the bomb diggy. You're the bomb freaking diggy. You are the Mac fucking daddy of this shit. You are kinging these queens out here. Like, I will gas myself up. I gas myself up every single day, and I'm not afraid to say it because I know I'm the shit. And so when somebody else is saying that, when somebody else is telling me, no, nobody can cake like you, no one cakes like you, I'm like, I'm on levels. I've birthed a lot of children, you know, up in this cake game. I see them doing, you know, taking, you know, that's that little Miss Sugar Plum touch. I'm going to do my own twist on it. I see it, but I'm not mad at that. I'm like, yo, this is exciting that like the lane that I'm carving for myself, people are like, yo, I'm digging her shit. She's actually doing something I'm not even trying to do out here, but she's doing it. Maybe I can do it. Let me have a go. And that's the thing. I'm that person that I've stopped being afraid to come outside of my box and I've stopped being afraid of like making mistakes, because that's the only best way you're going to learn. So yeah.
So
so basically what I'm saying is, every morning when you get up here, just gas yourself up. What do you want to be in life? What do you want to do? Gas yourself up. Like, I wake up and say, I'm going to be a cake billionaire out here. No doubt about it, fam. We're going to be ruling these kings. I'm ruling my kingdom out here. I'm creating my kingdom. Like, Lissimba's laughing. This is, I swear to you, this is all adrenaline talk. Like, when I've done and finished the cake job, like, literally, this is the last bits of my adrenaline. So I'm pumped in it.
So, no, it's good. I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the confidence. It's good. So one thing I'm curious about, to again try and bring some value to the audience. It reminds me like back in the day when you wanted to like, this is a random example. You get where I'm going, right? Whereas a guy, you wanted to approach like a girl and it'd be like, oh, you'd be too shy to speak to her, and it's be like, oh, just be confident. But it's like, how do you be confident? Where do you get the confidence from, right? So in this situation, the fact that you're so confident about what you do, like a cake maker out there or a cook or someone who wants to be confident,
you know
about
what?
They're doing, where do they get that from?
Where I get my confidence from is because like, I am actually a really odd, and I can be very odd and awkward sometimes, but I suppose people don't notice it, but then I'm in my head a lot, so I'm just like, that's an awkward thing to do. You know what, like, my confidence, I don't even know where my confidence comes from. I just think I think I'm just very playful, and I just am one of those people. It's like someone said to me, I've never seen you sad, and I'm just like, you don't want to see me sad, right? It's actually a sorry state of a person. But I think it's just because I believe I honestly, it comes from the love of my work, and I honestly feel like, I don't know, where does my confidence come from? That's a very good question. Where does my confidence come from? I don't even know. I just think, I just wake up and okay, if you watch Insecure, right?
Okay, what's that?
Insecure is the series with Issa Rae, created by Issa Rae.
Okay.
And I personally, I've only watched a couple of episodes, but I need to get back into it because so many people say, like, I remind them of the main character Issa Rae, and especially my brother, he says this to me all the time because I do this a lot. I will wake up, or sometimes when I'm getting ready in the bathroom mirror or whatever, I'll go to my mirror and I'll just start rapping. I'll just make some lyrics up and I'll just be like, oh, my bars are hot.
Drop some.
I don't have bars to drop right now, but
for the people.
No, it doesn't work like that.
You need a beat?
No, I don't need a beat. I don't. like I don't need the beat. I just come up with random stuff, like, and I'll just drop it in the mirror, and then I'll text my brother and say, oh, I just made up these bars, and he's just like, oh my gosh, like stop it. Or he'll just watch me in the mirror, and I just pump myself up, because I suppose as well my confidence also came from, I didn't really have, like, growing up, I didn't have a lot of people telling me what I was good at. I suppose I had to build on that myself. And I suppose I was one of those girls who was very into art and stuff. And back in the day, it was like all of my friends were just, well, the girls I grew up with weren't interested in art. They were interested in, like, I don't know, guys and the normal kind of, I don't know what the normal kind of girl stuff is, but they were like really kind of like girly girls. And I wasn't. I was that kind of, I like hanging out with the guys, but I like, you know, I'm that one that, you know, I'll listen to, I want to hear the hip hop, I want to play computer games, I want to play this. So I think my confidence just grew just to psych myself up to say, I can do it. I want to do it for myself, nobody else. I'm not doing it for the gram. I'm not doing it for my siblings. I'm actually doing it for myself. And it takes time. It's not an overnight thing. You just don't wake up and I've got all of this confidence. It's a slow builder, and there's small things that I do for myself before I do for anybody else. Like, I love cooking. I love making each week. I mean, I've missed out this week because I've just been so busy. But I start my week each week with the fattest brunch. I make myself the bangingest brunch, and I'll be singing, oh my God, Nastasha, who do you think you are? Like, this plate is mad. And I just, like, these are the kind of things I do. Like, you know, if I eat a slice of cake, I'm just like, I do a dance. I'm just like, oh my God, this slice of cake. You know, I mean, I enjoy myself. And I think that's my purpose right now, just to enjoy myself. And that's where my confidence comes from. And I think over time as well, like, I wasn't a great baker when I started. Like, my mum taught me how to bake, but she gave me the science and all of the things, tooled me with all the things that I needed to know. And I just wanted to get better. And when you fall in love with something, you just want to get better at it. And that's how it was for baking. I fell in love with it, and that was how I understand love, is the way I fell in love with baking. It was very effortless. It was like, I want to get better. Ooh, let me add this, let me add that. Ooh, getting the right balance. And then when I got it, I was like, oh, Nastasha, you're the don out here. So yeah.
Do you have like any message for people that are just starting out and their cakes are like falling in the middle and burning them?
Okay, so if you are starting out and you are baking from scratch and you find that like your cakes fall in the middle, there's a lot of factors to it. So it's not just, did I get the recipe right? You may be mixing your recipe right, but are you preheating your oven? Are you putting the cake on the right shelf? Have you tested your oven, how hot it is? Like, okay, so my current oven bakes at 160, whereas my old oven, my previous oven before this, baked at 140 because it was so hot. So newer ovens, you would tend to put it 10 or 15 degrees lower if it's new, because it's quite hot. The older it is, the more heat you need. So that's another thing. So test your oven in terms of shelf. Are you measuring your ingredients out properly? Baking isn't like cooking a meal. Like, if I was cooking and I accidentally put too much salt in something, I can level it out by putting water and reducing the water to take out the salt, you know, take out the salt. In baking, you can't do that. Once it's mixed, fam. Like, the other day I made a mistake on a recipe, but I put an extra cup of oil. So what I did instead is just make 3 times double the amount to level out the recipe. I can't take that oil back, because once it's in, it's gone. So measure all of your ingredients properly and to the recipe. Don't start thinking, oh, it says 140 sugar, but I'm going to put 160. No, that will cause your cake to fall down, because you need the right ratios, right? So it's all to do with that. Sometimes it's the type of products you're using. If you put your eggs in the fridge, they're a bit chilled. I like to use room temperature eggs. Use room temperature margarine, or put it in the microwave for like 15 seconds to soften it. There's a lot of factors of why your cake could have felt. If you put too much egg in it, for example, the cake becomes eggy. And usually the biggest one is people look at opening the oven door after 15 minutes of baking. That will cause your cakes to fall flat. They will rise in the oven, but guarantee you, when you take that cake out of the oven, and place it on like a cooling rack, it's going to fall in the middle, because what you've done is you've allowed cold air to come into a warm situation, and what that does is it just like literally the cold air will hit the cake, and the cake will get a chill, and that chill will cause the cake to fall. So it's like that kind of stuff. So my advice for baking, like when you're putting your cakes in the oven, don't open the door up until at least, if say the recipe is like an hour, open it at least to check on it after 45 minutes or 40 minutes. So just over halfway through baking, like 3/4 of the way through baking, you can open the door. But it also depends on the recipe. If it's like one of those meringue type cakes, which is just like where you fold in your egg, where you just have egg whites, you know, those ones are very sensitive. Like open the door at any stage, them ones are gone. So I'd always like bake them and like the last couple of minutes check it. But yeah, there's a lot to baking. It's not as easy as like 1, 2, 3. But yeah.
Cool. So what I'm hearing also on the side, outside of like the process and stuff, well, what I'm hearing is so much about the process. Don't take it personally as well, because a lot of people
don't take it personally. Like like boy, your first cake may even taste like doo-doo. Like don't get it twisted. Like if you like, don't get disheartened if like you're baking from scratch and it doesn't taste good, or it doesn't turn out how you expected. I'll tell you, like for me to perfect my bakes, it's been years and years and years of my mum saying, you know, oh, this one, it is a bit it's quite stiff, or it's quite tough. What did you do? Oh, you didn't leave it in the oven long enough, or the temperature of the oven was too low, so it didn't bake, you know. So all of those things, it's just like you learn with each bake. Assess your bakes. One thing I'm really big on is assessing your bakes as soon as they come out of the, like after it's cooled down, and tasting it. If it's not to your tasting, why is that? You know, if it didn't rise properly, why is that? If it's dropping in the middle, why is that? Ask yourself the why. Then from the why, you'll know the how, and from the how, you can do better.
Interesting. I pass some of these tips on to my mum and my dad. They do like to they like to bake and stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can imagine you and your parents in the kitchen baking together. That must look so cute.
That doesn't
Oh, okay.
happen.
All right. They do it out individually.
Yeah, one has to bake, and then they're not baking together.
Okay.
It's not that kind of party.
Okay.
But you know what? Speaking about that, and carrying on, I guess last week's theme of love.
Yeah.
When this one drops, like we'll be like a few days away from Valentine's.
Oh.
So for all those, I guess, romantics out there, they'll be celebrating.
You know what? Valentine's Day is just like, honestly, whoever invented it makes so much freaking money on Valentine's Day. Imagine 100%. That one day of the year you're waiting for someone to send you roses. What about the 15th? What about the 16th? What about the 17th? What about the 18th? What about the 19th?
Are you someone that would get upset if you didn't receive anything on Valentine's?
No, I don't really care for Valentine's, to be quite fair.
Okay.
I've never really, to be quite honest. Like, it's just that day where when you go out, you just see, like, you know why everybody's in the restaurant. Do you get what I mean? You know why everybody's in the restaurant, like, because it's Valentine's Day. But I need you to come outside of that box and be doing spontaneous shit 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
You know what's funny? I just remembered, like, in high school, I bought this girl.
Look at this little Casanova over here.
Not even. I think it was roses. Yeah, I bought some flowers, and then I wanted to take them to her. I was so nervous. I went to my tutor group, and I said, "Oh, everybody's looking at me because I got all these roses, right?" And then I said, "Someone come with me." The whole class stood up, right?
And came with you.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
And then we marched down, like, it looked like an army just marching down the corridor. We all marched down to this girl's class, and I gave her like the flowers and stuff. But yeah, my heart was.
Oh, you blessed his cotton socks. What was her response?
Oh yeah, she was happy for the flowers and stuff like that. But yeah, never led to nothing. It's just
Look at that puppy love right there.
that's what it
La
was.
Simba Casanova in the
Young.
early days.
Yeah, the early. I was about 15.
Bless it.
So.
You know what? I think definitely Valentine's Day in school is completely, we view it as like, it's like for school kids, it's like the occasion to see which guy is going to approach them, or or for some guys, it's which girl they want to approach. It's just like really crazy. But yeah, I don't really have much care for it.
So all that secret admirer stuff.
I mean, when I think about it, I think about some of the Valentine's Day gifts I got. Like, at one point, I actually cringed. I don't know why, but that guy used to always buy me flowers, which was really nice.
You know what? On a side note, again, I won't disclose exactly where I'm working, but in the restaurant I know people go for a lot of dates in restaurants, right? It's just a common thing, right?
Yeah.
But like being there, like cleaning some of the tables and seeing stuff, like seeing it, like how common it is. It's like
What? Go on.
God. No, I was gonna say, like, it really makes me think, like 90% of your dates are going out to eat.
Yeah, because but you know what it is like, if it was just like, oh, let's meet up and just sit on a park bench and talk, yeah, if the conversation is dead, I will literally officially say I wasted my time. But if the food is good and I'm talking to you, I'm just thinking my belly's full. As long as I got a meal, that's cool. I'm not hungry. I'm going to bed. Tomorrow's another day. If I'm just sitting with you on a park bench and the conversation is dead and all I want to do is leave, I'm out here, I'm tired, I'm hungry, and then this conversation is dead.
So
we must do something of enjoyment for everyone.
So wait, am I hearing that like you need a distraction just in case the person whose company you with?
It's easier. It's easier to have a distraction because you won't think you wasted your time.
Interesting.
But you know, I'm a different kind of person. Like, I could go with you and sit on a park bench, but that's actually very useful for me because I'll probably be watching nature and thinking of my next cake design. So I'm not really fussed like that.
But you're not there in the moment with that person.
Yeah, if the conversation is dead, yeah. I've been on a date where I just literally, the thing that was most entertaining was the cocktails. I mean, that guy, like, I remember this was ages ago though. This was like years ago though. Because I'm not actually dating at the moment. I'm just enjoying myself. My sister asked me, what does that mean? I was just like, you know what? Like, I will know when it's time for me to do, it will be effortless for me to do so. But right now I'm just enjoying myself. I'm enjoying just doing the stasher. Imagine the reason after the date, he texted me like, after we went to all bar one. I remember this day so clearly. I don't even know why. Probably it was because it was such an awkward day. We went to all be at one, not all bar one, be at one. Is that the cocktail bar?
Yeah.
In Liverpool Street, right? And then it was weird because he was a chatty patty over WhatsApp, but in person he was just like silence, right? So I'm just like, so what happened to Mr. Chatty Patty that was over on messaging, but now in person you're just silent? What's wrong? Like, what has got your tongue?
So what, you only gave him one shot?
No, we were talking, and then he started asking me about my religion, and then I was like, he was like, are you a Christian? And I was like, yes. And he was like, but are you a born again Christian? And I was like, what's a born again Christian? And then he went into it and I was like, no, I'm just a Christian. And then he was like, oh, okay. And then he continued to be a little bit like, I started just asking him questions. And after kind of not saying that I wasn't a born again, I could just see his like, through his eyes, his heart drop. And then I just I think I got another round of cocktails, and then I looked at the time and I was like, this is actually so dead, let me go home. And this time it was only like around 9 o'clock. And then I was driving at the time, so I went to my car. This is not a good advert for me. Drink driving, right? I had one, yeah, anyway. Yeah, exactly. And I don't think I'd even reached. I just sat in my car and I got a message from him, and he was like, "We can't date because you're not a born again Christian." And I was like, I just started laughing. I was like, "Okay, cool." And I literally said to him, "Okay, cool, bye."
Short and sweet.
Yeah, I mean, he had his preference in it. Like, I had to be a born again Christian, but I'm not a born again Christian.
Hey, yeah, everybody has their taste, just like food. On that note, I'm going to intro the show before I forget.
You always be forgetting.
Never. Juice and the Sauce is a show that chops up and serves you life topics narrated through the love of food and, most importantly, desserts. Charismatic random stories for a sweet entree, followed by a meaty main course of discussions.
You need to go. Sorry.
Say it for the people.
I was like, I'm listening to you. I'm just like, we're gonna shorten this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do a punchy one. I'll probably rap for you. No, I'm joking.
Oh yeah, you've promised now to the people.
No. I'm not gonna rap. I'll do a few bars. Like maybe I'll spin some bars in there. I do like making up a little bit of bars from time to time.
Okay. Yeah, comment like if you want to hear this. But yeah, just to wrap it up, followed by recommended flavors from the continent to round up this foodies delight of a podcast. So I wanted to. So for the main course.
No, what did you do all week? Like you asked me about my week. Listen, I never asked. What have you been doing?
Oh, so yeah, I've just been grinding in this restaurant, burning myself. Like I burnt myself on the oven, on the grill, on like cut myself with knives. Like if the kitchen's a dangerous place, you know.
I know you've got like chef. You've got chef.
What's it? Chef what?
Chef wounds now. You're
yeah,
proper
basically.
chef.
I got
like you're not a chef. You're not a real chef up until you burn yourself, cut yourself. It's just mad.
For people on YouTube, like I got a big like grill.
Oh, you've joined you've joined the club officially.
I got my wall wound now.
Yeah, kitchen wall wounds that we have.
Yeah, like, and it's like like I think I said it last week. Like their kitchens are busy, but it's pressure. Like
that's why I could never be a chef. It's too much pressure. I mean, it's pressure enough baking, but like chef is a whole new level of pressure.
But even not just like like all the cogs in the restaurant all have to function well.
Yeah.
Front of house, kitchen, porter, like everybody has to be like on song. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've got a story actually. So basically, I was closing. What was I closing? Let's just say the front of the restaurant. Otherwise, we'll give it away, right? So I was closing the front of the restaurant, doing all the things I needed to do with the cleaning. The cleaning there is extensive, right?
Yeah.
You have to take everything apart. You clean everything. Da da da. So there's a dude that started. I think maybe 2 weeks before me. He was responsible for cleaning the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right. Cleaning the kitchen is not a joke, right? You have to take everything apart. You have to dishwash this. You have to clean all the walls, you have to sanitize, like you have to do everything, right?
Yeah. Doesn't your porter do that?
There's no porter. Like the kitchen, one dude in the kitchen is responsible for doing some cooking.
That's actually taking the piss. Like, so hold on.
Yeah.
So who cleans the plates then?
This kitchen dude.
Is he not the kitchen porter?
There's one guy that does that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a porter, right?
All right, cool. So he's okay, cool. So
does he cook as well?
Yeah.
No, he's not the porter. No, that's actually taking the piss.
So I've done that because when I've had to be like yesterday, I had to do that. So I had to cook, I had to clean, dishwash, yeah.
No, that's actually taking the mick. You know why? Like, I will tell you facts on facts. Even the state of my kitchen right now, I need a freaking kitchen porter because this is not, it's not the way forward in life. I could never imagine where you work that it's one person that does that, because that's a lot of work. You know, cleaning is no freaking joke.
Yeah. It's funny. So my brother said it to me because one of the jobs I applied for like Five Guys because
Yeah.
I'm very curious about like when you go into Five Guys. I'm going to speak about Five Guys a
Yeah.
bit more later. Like it looks like a real operation. Everybody's like, it looks like an army. Do you know what I mean? I was just curious just to like be in that environment and see what it's like, but they didn't have me. But one of the things my brother said he heard is like the cleaning is just extensive in there. So I was aware that like to expect some cleaning, but actually to be in that mix of doing the cleaning, it's good though. It's good on the flip side. So like I would like anytime I would speak about the restaurant to you to anybody, I'd tell you they're clean. They look after the food well, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Out there.
That I mean, I think more restaurants are just taking care of how they clean and how they keep their food, which is really, really good.
So to finish this story, basically, right, we have like a set time that we finish. Sometimes we go over, right? Because we're new, it's not unheard of for us to go over by like an hour 15. It happens, right? So like the other day, I think I was meant to finish at 11. No, I think I was meant to finish like at 12. I got out of there like 1:45. It happens, right?
Yeah.
So my man now, it got to like 12. Like he hadn't finished or nothing, yeah. And I was a supervisor, came over and was like, oh, like he hasn't finished the work and he's asking to go home, right? So I was like, okay, and then I get to my cleaning. Next thing I know, literally 2 minutes later, I see the dude who's meant to be in the kitchen come up to me in his jacket. I say, oh yeah, goodbye, I'll see you soon. He left the building, he hadn't finished, like all the like...
Does he still have a job?
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, because I know that kind of behaviour, they're just like, no, you're not, what's the point?
Yeah, it's not, but that's what I mean about like everybody has to be on job in that kitchen environment. Like there's like you can't have any loose.
Can't have a loose end, mate.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, what I wanted to speak about Five Guys actually. The reason why I want to speak to Five Guys. So the other day I had a craving for what do they call it, the double bacon cheeseburger.
They only have 3 things on the menu.
Yeah. So that I had that, right? So I had that, and then the small fries. But as you know, they're small fries. I might as well be large fries.
Yeah.
Anyway, right? And then I wanted to like get water.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm trying to, although I'm having a burger, I'm trying to cut back on some calories if I can, right? And if
you could have got a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero, because they don't have it doesn't have any calories.
I don't believe all of that.
No, I checked it.
Oh, you checked it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No calories at all.
So so there's sugar in there, so...
No, it's artificial sweetness. It's synthetic sweetness.
I don't trust all of that. So I'd rather just take the government juice, the water, and then... But yeah, so I come to buying this water now, right? And it was if I remember right, £2.65. Right?
For a bottle of water?
For a bottle of water, right?
That's crazy.
And this is not like 1.5 litre bottle.
This is your normal one.
Tiny 500 ml bottle of water. And I said, I'll let my throat go dry.
Wow.
And I'll drink later. And I said, no drink kind of thing. But I just wanted to touch on that because of like the prices of water, I think, depending on where you are, I think it's extortionate because $2.65 for water. Like,
fam, have you not seen how much they charge you in the cinema? Cinema bottle of water is like it's roughly about the same amount. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, bottled water, like for me anyway, there is certain bottled waters I can taste the difference from, but I mean, I'm just happy with government juice. The only water that I buy actually is like sparkling water. Like right now I'm into like tonic water on its own. And my sister said, how are you drinking that just on its own? And I'm just like, I don't know. I
can't drink tonic water.
It's an acquired taste. It's mature palate people taste.
Okay.
It's an acquired taste, yeah. No, I just buy I'm a sparkling water fan. To be honest, the way I know how to drink water is like to have it sparkling water because it makes it feel like I'm having a fizzy drink, but I know it's really not. It's like, it's a mind trick. I'm tricking my mind.
Well, what do you have to do to drink more water?
Yeah, but £2, like anything, I just think, you know, especially with, and the price of bottled water is just it's bamboozling how like they can get away with selling water for £2.65, right? But guarantee people will buy it because they can't, because it's like, oh, I can't be asked to go to a corner shop. But even at some corner shops, I see bottled water like for £1.50. I'm just like, really? But you're really, what it is you're not actually paying for the water, you're paying for the plastic.
So you're paying for the plastic.
As in the bottle.
And especially in that place, like, you're paying for the convenience. As well, right? But like, there's some prices where they're robbing you, right?
Yeah.
Because it reminds me like when it's like, I don't know, like I've been in restaurants abroad and they give you like some free bread and stuff like that. And I've been in a restaurant. I remember when I was in Miami. I don't know if they do this now, but then like when I went, they put like a jug of water. Before you even order, there's a jug of water on the table, right? And it's just like, yeah, it's tap water or whatever, or I'm assuming it's tap water, but it's like, I don't know, like, I just like, give me some bread. I don't know if I expect that from Five Guys. No, I'm not, because it's a fast food chain, but nevertheless, it's like,
they should just have like free water drinking taps. Like, it's crazy how, like, honestly, the price of bottled water is like crazy. I mean, I don't buy like still water. I mean, I'm a government juice fan, you know, it comes from the tap, you know, pay my council tax, let me drink the government juice or whatever. But I know like I have friends that are like dead set on like bottled water is better. I'm just like, just buy the Brita filtered kind of thing. But they're dead set. But the amount of, you know, like the Fiji water, I think Fiji water starts from about £3 a bottle or even £4. Then there's Voss water. I've not tried these waters. Maybe what we'd do is one day for Flavour of the Continent and get like different arrays of bottled water and tell you which one tastes better.
We'll do blind taste
tests. But we're gonna do a blind taste test. That's really good. Maybe we'll do that next week.
Yeah.
So in our next episode, next week, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do blindfolded test. You know what? I'm so tired. I can't even get the word. I can't even articulate myself properly. So we're gonna do
blind taste test of water.
That's what we're gonna do next week, right? And there's Voss. So as I was saying, there's Fiji, there's Voss. There's another one that I see people having as well.
I'm not sure.
There's all different. Jaden Smith has got his own water called Just Water, or is it called Just?
Isn't that like some charity thing?
Yeah, so that's for charity, and I really appreciate that he's made it into cardboard boxes, and all the money from those water sales goes to charity. What else? There's pure different water brands, and if you see how much they're charging for a bottle of water, I'm just like, yo, I swear down, if this is not from some holy grail of a well, that's gonna do wonders for me. Why are we charging so much for something that's natural? You know what bamboozles me even more? Imagine how just like, you know, water has always been on this earth, right? But we pay for something that's very natural. I know why we pay for it. We pay for all of the filtering and stuff of the water to our homes, kind of thing. But it's mad if you think about it. Like, there are rivers and streams like that people just go to and just cop up their water and go. But we're really out here paying for water. Like,
you know what though, right? I think it's only a matter of time before we have oxygen shops.
No, I swear down, I've said that before. I really believe it. I really believe that in the near future, there's going to be an oxygen tax. There's going to be an oxygen. And if you are consuming too much oxygen, they will tell you you've consumed this much level of oxygen, you should be only consuming this. You know how, like, you have apps that tell you, like, the fitness, for example, fitness app, when you put in, it'll tell you how many calories you're supposed to eat a day. Then you add the food that you've eaten, and then it'll tell you, oh, this food contains too much sodium. Your average sodium level should be this. That's what it's going to be like with with oxygen. Oh, your oxygen level should be at this, and today you've consumed this much, meaning you now owe this much. Imagine paying for oxygen. That's just something that's, you can't even see it, but you're paying for it.
You know what's funny though, right? Just thinking about it now, like if there was an oxygen shop, it's funny now that I'm thinking about it. I think I would go, and the only reason why is just to know that like living, like apparently like traveling on the tube is meant to be very polluted, like
It
stuff
is.
like that.
It
And
is.
but just know I could go even if it was like once a week, once a month, and I'm getting just fresh oxygen in my lungs. That whole idea already sounds like mad healthy to me. Like I think even though I'm laughing at the idea, I think I'd actually go.
Listen is the type of person that will go to an oxygen shop and get his, oh, he'll clean out his system. He'll go into those tanks. They'll probably have those tanks where you can clean out your system.
Yeah.
And they'll clean it out and they'll show you how much soot is lingering in your body.
Yeah, that's mad. Because well, I don't smoke or anything, but I'm sure like over the years.
There'll be an oxygen. There'll be a cleansing chamber.
You know what? To bring it back, right?
Oxygen cleansing chamber.
I was thinking though, right? You know when we were speaking about like the water and like who would pay that, right? Like so, like I guess full disclosure, I can imagine though if I was on a date, a first date especially.
You're gonna want to buy the posh water.
No, not that I'd want to buy the posh one. I think I would have bought the water because being in Five Guys, the water's as far as I understand, there's only water. But I think I would have bought it.
No, I get that because there's certain restaurants I go to and I want to buy a bottle of water. I don't want your tap water.
Yeah, but also like, it's like so you want to show that you're not cheap on the date.
So you want to do flashy just
No.
water?
This is like
Not
there's-
even champagne. He's quenching a thirst of water.
But do you get what I mean? Like, because there's like you like because on the first date, right?
Yeah, you want to show that you can provide, and you're going to quench her first with
What's wrong
water.
with nothing wrong with water?
Yeah, but why are you not ordering a bottle of champagne though? Champagne. See, there you go. So you're being, that's even being more cheap. Like, I swear down, right? If we went out to a restaurant, right,
Okay.
and you bought a bottle of water, but you're not trying to buy me a bottle of champagne, I would say, like, fam, I'll take the tap water. Yeah, I don't need your fancy water. You should be buying me bottles of champers.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think. I'm trying to think back. I don't think I've gone to a restaurant and bought champagne.
Or
I
even
don't-
wine, or a good bottle of wine, or whatever.
But
Wine,
I don't even
Prosecco.
drink wine like that. Look, okay, cool, look, like prosecco, yeah. Like cocktails. I drink bare cocktails when I go out to eat.
Yeah.
Right? I don't mind doing that. But I'm just trying to like just keep it real. Back in the day, not now, but back in the day, clubbing
Yeah.
used to do a lot, maybe too much champagne, right?
Yeah.
Like actually going to a restaurant and buying champagne on a date, I don't think I've.
Listen, but buy you a bottle of water. He'll upgrade you from the government juice in the restaurant. I swear, I
Your
find
best
it.
water.
You know what? Like, I'm actually finding this more funny than it actually is because I'm tired.
What year is that? 2019? Yeah, let's have that one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Can we have the 2012 bottled water, please? Can we have the 2007 bottled water, please? The one with the little fizz. But imagine, right? That's
Yeah.
actually no. But imagine, right? That's actually a business, you know.
What do you mean?
Selling water, like if you were that G and collected bottles of water from all of those years ago, and then just
Selling it by the year.
selling water by the year. Imagine, because the water in 2007 was much tastier than the one in 2019. Imagine, but yeah, I mean,
You know, someone somewhere.
it's gonna do something. But imagine if you did though. I know this sounds like really kind of like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like what? How are you talking about collecting bottled water from different years? But just imagine that we did. How do you think it would taste?
I don't know.
I think it would taste pressurized. I think it will have a little stench to it.
You know, as you're saying this, it's actually reminding me of the trip to the whole Coca-Cola factory thing.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, and you can taste different Coca-Colas from around the world.
Yeah.
So when you think about like the different water tastes different around the world.
Yeah.
So imagining having the water from here's German water, here's
Yeah, some restaurants do. There's obviously, well, there's different types. Like I've been to a restaurant and there was like a whole page of different sparkling waters, and I was just like, what? This is still water? Yeah. Okay, so in Italy, this is where I began my journey of drinking sparkling water. Actually, when I went to Rome a couple of years ago, I was with a friend and she was drinking sparkling water, and I was like, how can you be drinking sparkling water? That's disgusting. And she was like, no, there's different types of fizzy water. There's low fizz, then there's medium fizz, then there's high fizz, and there's extra fizz. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, for real? And she was like, yeah, Italians have different levels of sparkling water. And for sure, like, there are different grades of sparkling water in Italy. So you get like one that's got a slight fizz, like not too much. And it actually has, on the bottle, they have the percentage of the fizz on it.
That I never knew.
So yeah, there are places across the world, like they, especially like Italy's really big on their sparkling water. Yeah. So that's where I learnt about sparkling water. But in this country, it depends on the brand. So I can tell you the brands of water that I personally like and the brands that I don't. So for example, the Buxton fizzy water, that doesn't have a big kick in it. It's one of those, you open it and then after a couple of minutes, after a while, like the fizz is gone. So Buxton is out the window. A good one is the Highland Spring. Spring, that's got a good, that's got a good kick of a fizz. Then there's, I think it's called Acqua Pura. That's an Italian brand. That one is, I would say, it's a low to medium fizz. That one's a low to medium. So if you don't want it to hit you at the back of your throat, that's the kind of one that you want to go for.
Okay.
Which other brand? Then you've got your supermarket ones. Those are all just at a high fizz. But my favorite supermarket fizz one would be the Marks and Spencer's. That one's got a nice kick to it. Yeah. I'm thinking of any other brands that I've tried. So there's Buxton, Highland, the Aqua Pura. And then there's just like, your Waitrose and stuff like that. Your supermarket ones. There's probably more brands of fizzy water out there. But yeah, those are the Perrier actually. The Perrier, I don't really like that one actually. The Perrier one's a medium. It's a medium high, but I don't think it's got a lot of kick to it personally anyway. I think it's more medium low.
Okay, well you've heard it there from the water connoisseur.
Water connoisseur, the fizzy water connoisseur, not just any water, but fizzy water. But yeah, there's lots of brands of fizzy water. So next week we're going to get in a different ranges of waters, and we're going to test them out for you, and we're going to tell you which water is the best.
Yes, you know, with what you just said, it reminded me. I think it was like year 4.
Yeah.
We were doing PE, right? After the PE, we were mad thirsty. We all had to queue up for the fountain, right, to go drink. So we were all queuing up, and then basically at the front of the queue, everybody that wanted like to drink, the teacher kept sending them back, right? They wouldn't let them drink, so you had to queue and ask for what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
So we went up. Oh, can I have some water? Nope. And then next one went up. Can I have some water? No. Kept sending them away. We were mad thirsty, but we were allowed to queue up again, right? It wasn't until one person said, "Can I have some water?" She said, "Yes, go on."
So it was the way you asked.
Basically, water. She was trying to teach us, like, it's water.
Oh my God.
Basically.
Yeah. Water, yeah. Loads of kids go, water.
It's
like,
a London thing, though, water.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, even my mum, like, growing up, she was like, it's not water. What is water? Water. It's water. But, yeah.
I think it's a London thing to just drop T's in general, isn't it?
Water, yeah.
Water, daughter.
Water. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna get some water in next week, and we're gonna be your water connoisseurs and tell you which water is the best and if it's worth the dime that you spend.
100%. Also, in terms of what is there anything else you wanted to?
Now I think that's all that I can add to the water, to the plight of the water. Like I said, I'm government juice. If it's not fizzy, then we don't spend.
Oh, fair enough. Like, look, so me, I do a bit of both. Like,
Yeah.
if I miss my if I leave my bottle, I got like those 2 litre jugs.
Yeah.
If I forget that on the way to the gym, then I might buy like a bottle of Volvic or something like that.
Yeah.
Outside of that, home, I got my Brita filter. Just.
Okay. If I do buy water, my favorite water is Smart Water.
What? Why is it smart? What is it? It's just
I don't know. In my head, I'm just like, it just tastes better.
Fair enough. You know, with you speaking about all the sparkling, it just reminded me. I can't remember where I was. There was somewhere where there was no water. I might have been in Ghana at the time. Maybe there was like, the shop for water.
Yeah.
I was somewhere for some reason there was no water, and I had this sparkling thing, right? But I can't stand sparkling.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember I shook it, trying to get rid of all the bubbles. Right.
Yeah.
I got it to a point where it wasn't fizzing anymore. Then I poured it, and it just tasted flat and sour.
Yeah,
and it was just like
when fizzy water goes flat, it's not nice.
the thing is though, I love like flat Coke. So I thought
I don't like flat Coke.
you don't like flat Coke.
No, I like flat Fanta though.
Yeah. Flat Fanta is
Flat
nice.
Fanta is nice. Like I do sometimes just get a craving for it, and I'll just go to McDonald's and just can I have like flat Fanta.
But the Sprite isn't like the same Sprite years ago, is it? It's
I
kind of
don't know. Like Sprite has changed. Oh, sorry, I just spat it. Like, and I'm just like, oh. I don't know. Like Sprite doesn't taste like Sprite anymore. There's a point in my life that Sprite didn't taste like Sprite anymore, and I started drinking 7-Up. But now 7-Up doesn't taste like 7-Up, so I just go for our White's lemonade. It's the most trusted.
That is a good shout.
Yeah.
There's a pink lemonade that I'm thinking of, but I can't remember the name of it. There's a cloudy pink lemonade that is banging.
Is it Fentimans?
I can't
Is it
remember
in
the name.
an old school glass bottle?
Glass bottle, I think it's old school, yeah.
Is it Fenton? Is
I
it called?
can't.
Is it called Rose Lemonade?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's Fentimans.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that one bangs. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Well, I think I like all of the Fentimans drinks actually. They do a dandelion and burdock. They do a cola one, and I think they do a cherry cola one, and I like that one. And there's another one that they do they do an elderflower, sparkling elderflower one, and the rose lemonade bangs.
Maybe we get that on. Well, we've spoken about it anyway.
Yeah.
But maybe we get that on.
Yeah, we can get some of those on as well.
Yes, and speaking of which, I don't know if it's too early to hint, but look forward to some guests coming on very, very soon.
Yes, we're gonna have some guests rolling in very, very soon. I'm pretty much excited. Pretty much
100%. I want to touch on the other mains, and for that, what I wanted to speak about is what I've realised from like being in the kitchen.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Our main topic today is
Yes. Our main topic. Well, is it the second main or?
the first part of the mains we were talking about Lissenber's experience with water,
So what was the starter?
gossiping about our lives. You know the starter it's a
Cool.
starters are always a mishmash of what we do during the week and anything that's been popping in our lives.
Okay, so to introduce the main course.
Yeah.
Experience I've had working in the kitchen. Oh, okay, cool. I want you to repeat this in case I think I'm going to jumble it up.
Okay, cool.
In your own words as well, right?
All right, cool.
So, experience that I've had like working in the kitchen, I find it really interesting how the culture, the culture amongst the staff, how that affects like the customer service. So not just totally on customer service, but like how staff treat each other and how that lends staff to react towards customers and stuff. Because one thing I found interesting, like even being in like a mad busy kitchen, you're rushing, things are burning, and like stuff is not getting done, dishes are piling up, da 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 da. When you walk over to the customer, you still have to say, "Hi, welcome to da 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 da." You can't let that show. You have to.
You have to take a deep breath and act like
Everything's
it's
perfect.
yeah. So it's we're basically talking about the restaurant dynamics, working in a restaurant and the dynamics between staff and how that can also seep into the customer service part. Seeps into the customer service experience, which is very interesting. And kudos to Lusimba with coming up with this, for this topic, because it's so true. And I completely can relate to that, because I'm doing a contract job at the moment, and I've literally I've seen exactly what Lusimba is talking about. If the dynamic in the kitchen, and in this particular place, what's happened is the dynamic amongst the staff has seeped over into the customer experience, to the point where now the customer is noticing that things behind the scenes are like not what they seem to be. Things behind the scenes is just like literally, I wouldn't say it's not falling apart, but it's just manic. And there's so much intense swearing, and there's staff going huffing and puffing, and it's just all of these small little things that happen behind the scenes literally are now being exposed to the front of the house, which is not, and what it does ruin the customer experience. It does kind of be like, that place is nice, but the stuff are wild. And that's what the kind of reviews you're going to get. It's nice, but stuff are always like really wild. And, I ask them a question and they're like, and it's like, fam, did I upset you? Like, all I'm asking, is it that much trouble for you, huh? Like, and I think it's very important that that we have one person leading the ship, as I say, because every ship, like, I look at my job as a ship. It needs to set sail. The person with the idea will be like, this is the idea. I want this to be done X, Y, and Z in this way. But really, you need a navigator, right? You need a navigator. And usually the navigator of it it's not the chef in the kitchen, because the person with the idea is usually the chef. They're usually the creative one. So they don't want, it's not that they don't want responsibility for the people on the ship. It's just that they know their part is to create, but they need that captain to actually lead it into the right direction. And a captain in the restaurant would be the shift manager. They have to make sure that everything is working clockwork, that the person who's rowing, you're supposed to be rowing. The person who's lifting the sails, you're supposed to be lifting the sails. The person over there, like the person, if you need wood or charcoal in the ship, that person is doing that. Then there's one person cleaning up. It's the person who's cleaning up, the person cooking in the ship. Are you cooking because there's people need to eat? We need to stop. So that is the role of the captain. And this is like, and when you put it into business terms, you've got your creative director, then you've got your manager, and then you've got like your marketing PR, then you've got all of those other people, blah, blah, blah. So I hope that analogy is coming across coming across well. So if the captain of the ship is always cursing and blinding, what do you think the staff are going to be doing? The staff are not going to respond. People don't respond. And one thing that I've learned over my small amount of years of being on this planet and within like corporate environments is staff do not respond well when they're being sworn at, cussed out, especially on a busy shift or just in any shift. Your staff will never respond to you for that. What actually it does, it has the opposite effect. It makes them even go slower, because they're just like, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm just going to take my time because you're not appreciating. And I think one thing that I learned from a tech company that I work for is the better you treat your staff, the better outcome you'll have with them. You'll have them wanting to work for you more. And that is just like the captain, before any shift should start, really the captain of the ship should give a brief of the day, and they should give some sort of a motivational speech or a quote or something to lift the morale of the team. And this is something that's very, very important that I don't see being done enough in restaurant environments, is lifting the team morale. You can't just shout at someone because, oh, they're going too slow because they're cooking this thing slow. You have to, it becomes very, very personal, especially when it comes to food, because there is a reason why that person's going slow, and it's up to you as the captain to investigate why this person is going slow, so they can come back up to speed. It's like, you need to come back up to speed, because you not working at speed is also affecting this person, this person, this person. And that's the thing about a restaurant. Like, if the chef isn't bringing out the food on time, that is a knock-on effect to the captain, because the captain has to keep on going back to the customer, and the customer saying, where's my food? And the captain has to be like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But the captain can only say to the customer, it's coming X amount of time, before you have to start going, okay, let's give them a free drink because they've been waiting for a while. So you have to start looking at those avenues to kind of go down. So every job, like if the porter isn't washing the dishes on time, that's going to slow down the service of the chef, and the chef isn't going to be able to plate up. Therefore, it delays the whole process. So yeah, it is about, for me, one thing is, when you are the captain of the ship, it is your duty to ensure that like everybody on your ship is in high spirits and morale. If there's someone slacking, you don't, I hate seeing this when somebody shouts at someone in front of like customers or other colleagues. Nah, that's not the way to do it. It's always about taking that person to the side, or catching them and going, you know, or saying, just whispering in their ear, like, yo, you're working a bit, can we speed it up? Or what's wrong, you're working. Incorporate some jokes into it as well. But, you know, one thing, and another thing I've noticed is working in kitchens are very, very, very fast paced, meaning that, if a fish needs to be in an oven, just fried for 3 minutes, 1 minute and a half on each side, you need to make it 1.5 minutes, not a minute. You need to make it 3 minutes, not 3 minutes and a couple of seconds. It's 3 minutes. It's on the dot. So it is it's very, very important that your team behind the scenes are happy, because once you get them to a stage of having great morale, it's going to have a knock-on effect for them, because when they go back to their customer, even if they're dealing with someone really grumpy, they're going to still smile and get through it.
Now, 100%. There's a few things you said resonated with me about the fish being grilled, because the other day I got thrown out the kitchen for not cooking something fast enough, right?
Right.
Because basically this particular dish takes about half an hour, right? And the thing is, I was working on another dish. Yeah. Because I guess I'm new or not fast enough, like I couldn't finish that first dish in time. But that original dish needed to go in like yesterday, had to be done. And I got basically, because of the heat, basically, later the manager like apologized and said, the stress, and not the stress. He was saying that like he takes the responsibility, right? Yeah. I completely understand, because of like, it's not a joke. Stuff needs to happen. And what's interesting as well about what you're saying about how treating people, I always remember in my interview with my manager, you have to say about medical conditions and what have you. So I explained like, I got like this condition with my eyes and whatever. And one thing for doing like podcasting, like in my previous podcast as well, I picked up a skill, and be interested to see if you get this in about 6 months or so, of seeing when someone's present. So when I'm speaking to someone, I can instantly tell if they're present in the conversation, right? A manager, she wasn't the manager at the time, but literally, it's almost like she, not stopped what she was doing, but it's almost like a switch flipped in her, and then it was immediately about like, oh, how can we support you in the job? Anything that I need to know, like, is there any conditions that might happen while you're at work? Is there any literature you can get me so I can read up a bit more? Like, she was like 100% present in the conversation, right? And then at the time, like, I acknowledged that, and I was like, oh, she's showing some care, right? But in my head, it's like, okay, you just showed that one time, whatever. And I was almost like thinking that's a one-off. As time gone on, right, that managers under her, co-workers of mine, the amount of times they ask me, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
and they're present, they're genuine, and they mean it.
Yeah.
Someone else the other day finished. They had finished. This is after 12, and they were like, "Do you want some help?" This person had to be up to go to uni that morning,
Yeah.
right? And she was willing to stay behind and just help me, even though she could have ran out.
Yeah.
And it's just like wow. Not that okay, cool. I've been in work environments where people are prepared to help each other, but it's just like okay. Another way to put it is I was in. I try to be not too specific, right? But I've been in a work environment where it's a bit toxic. Right?
Yeah.
And one particular manager was very short with people and very, very punchy. People found it very, very rude. Even myself sometimes. And when certain people used to complain and talk about this individual, my always response was, it's not that person's fault. It comes from the top, because the manager above that could be a bit cynical sometimes or be like that, right? So what's the reason why I'm giving that story to relate to this one is that it trickles through.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to watch like how a company culture, it's almost like like family or like religion, like you have certain beliefs and stuff, like it stems through. And what's different about a company though, like similar to the guy that got fired, you can weed out those that don't fit.
Yeah. It's very true, and that's what it is in the kitchen. It's about teamwork. Let me tell you, I mean, in my line of job, I say like there's no deadline. It's when the job is done. I finish when the job is done. That's because obviously that's my work. But when I work in a kitchen, it is about supporting the chef. It is about supporting anybody that's new, because if you're not doing that, that person who's just walked into that kitchen is definitely going to slow down the kitchen, regardless what their job role is. Yeah, that person's going to slow everybody else's time down. Meaning, it's actually worth asking. It's actually within your best interest to go to the new person, or can I help you with something? Do you need any help? Because that will elevate them to the speed and integrate them into the team that you have at that present moment in time. I definitely think like team building is definitely needed in a kitchen environment. And I think it's something that it should actually, now working for this contract company, it's something that should happen on a regular basis. And why I say it should happen on a regular basis is like the environment of always like being in your ship. You need to actually take time away from the ship and just do something that's completely different from what the actual ship is. So if we're working in food, go and do, I don't know, go-karting and race each other. And from there you can kind of see, and I say racing is a good example is because there's some people who drive cautiously and some people who drive recklessly. And then from that you can tell that, the person who drives recklessly, so because you're driving a car like that, that is why in a restaurant you never do things properly, because you're actually just a wreck. But you can start picking out the characteristics and start helping them improve on those characteristics. And it's a very interesting way of just bonding, making the bond in the team tighter. So you start to think, okay, that one is a bit too careful. That one does stuff recklessly. Why don't I pair them up and let them work together and showing them, so they get the balance of working too slow and working recklessly and get that balance together. Does that make sense? Because that's what you essentially want to do. You want to kind of see your team's strengths and your weaknesses, as well as know that your team, you run a tight ship.
No, 100%. I was sitting with a coworker, funny enough, yesterday, and they were telling me about like all the events that they do for staff. Like they got like a Christmas party, they got like a summer party. They do like team building exercises. They do regional competitions.
I have to say, where you are now, I've heard this from so many people. Like the culture company life is, especially in their head office, they're always having a party.
Yeah. Like the way this person was describing to me, like parties all the time for the staff. Like it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's funny for the level. How do I put this? I've been at work environments where they do stuff for your staff, right? But not at this pay bracket.
Okay.
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
for this pay bracket, I wouldn't have expected these treats, should I call
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Or the incentives. Really.
Incentives is a better word than
Yeah.
treats, right? And it's wonderful.
Yeah, that's, you know what, like, especially like what you're saying from the company that you currently work for. I've heard that so many times, because a friend of mine actually used to work where they're situated. Their offices were situated, so they were always being asked if they want to come down to the party and stuff like that. But I commend that kind of culture, because it makes the staff want to stay. I know somebody who used to work for the company, and they were just like, I loved it so much. Like, I was so sad when I left. And I was like, really? Just like, yeah, it's like a little family. And that's the way to treat your ship, because especially before your ship, like obviously when you were young, your ship was going to college, uni, whatever, that was your 9 to 5. But when you come into like a restaurant lifestyle, that's your family, because you're going to be seeing them 5-6 days a week, you know, whether it's like 10 till 7 in the evening or whatever. So it's very, very important, because like I said, when you start seeing the attitudes of your staff trickle down to your customer level, that's where it becomes a problem, because people don't tend to not read that, even though the food is great, but do I want to be served by someone who's angry? How do I know that she didn't spit in my food? How do I know that she didn't do this? Why is she angry for? Like, has she just started her shift with like, but this seems like a nice place and the food is nice. Who angered her? And it's that also experience of that. If you're eating food that's been served to you by an angry person, the food looks very unappealing.
Yeah, 100%. So to follow on from what you were saying, like when it's mad negative, like on the back end, right, that really does affect like the customer, because like, sorry to I think African and Caribbean restaurants get a bad name for this, but you know, sorry to call them out, but it's a familiar story. You go in, you order food, they bark at you like, what you want, da 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 da. And I think as a customer, you have little empathy for what's going on for them back in the kitchen, or you know.
Yeah, I mean, before I worked in the kitchen, I would just be like, I don't even know why you're giving me this attitude, because I'm trying to give you my money. Like, so you're either going to take it or leave it. But after working in the kitchen, I understand the stresses of the people in the front line. Because the people in the front line will sometimes get blamed for things going on in the kitchen, but it's just like, how am I getting blamed for things that are going on in the kitchen? Like, it's not, I'm not there. And so it's the frustration of the frontline staff having to deal with like probably customers who are disgruntled because they've been waiting so long, and they're telling the chef like, yo, you can't be cooking like this is your house. Like, you can eat any time. I've got people waiting. So there has to be that real balance in there. And I definitely feel like customer service training is a freaking must, especially in the restaurant environments. And I've been to restaurants recently where I remember asking the person, the waiter who was serving us, okay, I was just asking him like the basics, so like, oh, what's the best dish, or, you know, what's your favorite? And he was just like, oh, I don't have one. No. Anything is nice. And he was just so unenthusiastic. And I was just like, I ended up saying like, fam, I actually said, fam, do you want to be here? Because, we can bop out anytime together. And it's just like, oh, no, it's just because I'm tired. Okay,
so you
cool.
didn't want to be there.
And this is the thing. I understand that, like, waiting is, like, tiring, and sometimes you are just genuinely tired. But honestly, and this is why I think, like, in the US, they give you impeccable service all the time. And this is why, for them, tips is so important, because they're like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, what would you like, ma'am? Have a good day, ma'am. In a UK restaurant, you do not always get that. You get a barely, hi, you know. But when you go to like the mid restaurants and the upper, especially the high end restaurants, yes, they have that kind of attitude. But you go when you're over in the States, regardless whether it's low end or high end, you're getting impeccable service. You know, you get a service where the person serving you is present as much as you are present too. And that's the thing. And I just feel like when your front end isn't functioning, your back end loses, and when your back end isn't functioning, your front end will lose. So it's always about, the key is having the balance and having those times where you do group activities that you each, like, whether it's like after every, like, make a date in the diary where you have like, even if you haven't had a change of staff, every kind of like 4 months, every once in a quarter, go through general customer service practices and have goals to set. You know, what can we improve on? What was the best thing? And one thing that the contract place that I'm doing some time at, doing some baking for, they've got, I'm doing time. No, the place that I'm doing some baking, where I'm doing some baking for them, they have a gratitude list, a daily gratitude list. So you come in and you write one thing that you're grateful for at the end of your shift. And stuff like that, when you read what's on the board, it's actually very inspiring. And those are the kind of things that you want to walk into and go, yes, like, I really want to be here. And I think it is like, sometimes when you have, like, whether it's a shitty manager or a shitty team, sometimes you just don't want to be there. You actually don't want to be there. But I do encourage, like, team bonding, team customer service, what do you call it? Customer service training, at least maybe twice a year, or every quarter, so to refresh people, to remind people, have targets, have a gratitude list within your workplace, and team building sessions. That's where it all comes from. It's all about trusting and team building, you know. And it's okay if there's someone in your team that you don't like, but you can actually be mutual. You know, you're all working for the same cause, innit? To get out on time, to serve customers, and to get out at a decent time. If you work together, you all get out at a decent time. But if you do wahala, you're not going to get far.
No, I'm only giggling because we've all worked with people that we have a dislike for, but you know, at the end of the day, the job needs to be done. You're both trying to get paid. Just be cordial. Just do what you
Yeah.
You know, also just touching on what you're saying about customer service. What I found recently, working where I'm working, customers actually don't need much, right? And what I mean by that, like, I've had a few, I guess, disgruntled people, customers come up to me, oh, food's late, you know, not happy with this, and literally just by offering up an apology, you know, offering maybe some alternatives, seeing what you can do for them, and then just following up on your promise, like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get you this alternative. Don't worry, I'm gonna check on this for you. Just following up, and being present. I don't think customers need a lot, and all those situations that I had where the customers were like so negative.
Yeah.
All of them just turn around, but just like happy. I think it's like how you deal with the situation, but it's hard to find that balance of.
You know what? It's when you acknowledge the customer's unhappiness.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, like, it's not the fact that you're like, it's not the fact of they want anything for free. It's just being acknowledged. It's like, oh, that person heard me and they're actually caring. You know what I mean? They've actually taken it on board. Whereas sometimes, you know, like, I think you've been there where you've complained about something and the person just says to you,
Yeah.
and you're just like, we're not going to play shrug your shoulders and say, and we're going to actually do something, action it, or, it's never like this, or they make excuses, oh, we've never had this before. Well, you got it now.
Or even the ones that said, this is normal, this is just how it comes. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we've all had bad customer service, but on the flip side, it's being able to find that balance of, hey, look, I'm getting pressure from the kitchen, I'm getting pressure from the customers, I'm getting pressure for da-da-da-da, but when that phone rings, hey, welcome to da-da-da-da-da, you know what I mean? You know what it's like? It's like being in a relationship, and what I mean by that is that, you know, when you get that work stress, you don't take that home. You don't go home and, I was going to do something with my hands, I'm not. You don't go home and take violence home. You don't go home and, you know, take pressure out on your kids. You just keep what's at work, you know, and it's being able to, you know, take that work and not pass it on to the customer.
Definitely.
And even when you mentioned, I shouldn't laugh. When you mentioned spitting in their food, it's recognizing you can't do those things.
Yeah.
Don't do those things, you know. So, yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy, and yeah, I can't stress how much like back of house, like working as a chef or just that being a captain of a ship is very, very difficult, because you have to really call out people on their behavior, and also, you know, captains have to have their behavior called out on, because sometimes like they're just shouting for nothing, and there are times when you just think, oh, that person's actually just shouting for nothing.
So to like maybe bring some value to people listening. If you go,
I'm so sorry. Like, I've been yawning. I'm not yawning because Lisimba's boring. I'm actually yawning because I'm extreme. And you know what it is like, I've just sat down on this. We sat down on this couch. I had a bite to eat, and you see that my body's just like literally lapping it up, and I'm like, yo, we still got a journey to make home. Don't get comfortable. Wake up.
Yeah, no, I get you. To round it up then, or to wrap it up, and just to maybe bring some value to everybody's listening. For, I guess, people who do like, you know, street food, home cooks, are looking to like expand, take the next step, maybe bring on their first employee, first what do you call it, intern, that kind of thing. You know, grassroots stages. What tips would you have for people, you know, expanding with like new staff to maintain or have like a good company culture or work ethic when they're getting started?
I'm just going to go off of my experience is you have to remember, like, one thing that I've always put in the back of my, I have not put in, that I always have when I take somebody on, is understand their language of learning. And by this, what I mean is we all take in information and process information differently. For example, me, myself, I'm a visual person. If you wrote down, like, Nastasha, I want you to cut, like, Nastasha, chop, like, peel and chop, like, 20 onions, and then cut it in, and then you describe the way that you want it cut. My head is just like, I have to read it probably about 5 times to actually just grasp what you're asking me to do. But if you were to show me visually, I record it, and I have that as a documentation, that's me taking in the information the best way I know. Because I know I'm visual, I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to take a video. And that's one thing that has come in handy for me. Mm-hmm. That every intern that I've employed, I've asked them what their language of learning is. Do they like it written? Do they like it pictorial? Do they want it by video? Do they want it in Martian? Do they want it in their language? Do they, you know, do they need to stay extra? Do they want me to do physical examples for them? Mm-hmm. What is it? How is it that you take in information? So I am prepared to support you and aid you in your learning and in your growth. So that would be my gem for people out there listening. Support your staff by understanding their learning language.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I guess my 2 cents on top of that, be very short, is understand your staff's motivations. Yes. And everybody's got a different reason for coming to work. Mm-hmm. Someone has, unfortunately, like an ill member of family, they're sending money home. Some people are studying. So
I'm so sorry. I'm not like, this is so interesting. Sorry, and I'm just trying to cover it. It's just like,
it's all good.
I'm all raggedy like that.
You get a free pass this week. It's all
Thank you.
So yeah, whether, you know, someone's at college, someone's, you know, this is a stepping stone to something else. Someone wants to work up their way through the company. Someone's in there just to learn what they need to and just exit. Like, trying to understand everybody's motivations. And I think that will help you just make better decisions about what should be the carrot and the stick, I guess.
Completely. I love that. I think we've given you guys 2 great gems to really consider. So, you know, understanding your staff's motivation and also understanding your staff's learning language, because I think even if you think about the two, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, 100%.
And in saying that, also develop your own culture for your restaurant or your place of work, or your environment. You know, is your culture that 5 minutes before opening time you guys do a high five? Is it before your shift you have like a little pep talk? Is it before your shift or after your shift you guys have a chill out and you toast? You know, have like little toast to the day, whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Develop a culture that will build a basis and a foundation for your family. And moving forward, you know, you'll have that borderline of how you deal with, you know, you maintain. What I'm trying to say is, you're maintaining a great spirit and enthusiasm that customers want to come in and eat there, not just for the food, but for the actual atmosphere, the environment, you know, the entertainment from the staff and stuff like that. And that's what you kind of want. You want people to, you kind of have to treat it like they're coming into your house. And that's how I treated my cafe. Like, these people are coming into my house. So if like my house, we're having an argument, that argument needs to be open and closed and done before the customer walks in. Because we're not just here to put our best faces on, we're here to actually be our best. Yeah.
100%. So, unless there's anything else you wanted to add?
But I'm too tired to even talk. Like, usually my gums are like, got so much to say. Today I am just like, yo.
It's all good.
Hi. Hey guys. Flavour of the Continent this week is coming from the Trap Kitchen. I've been excited to try the Trap Kitchen for a couple of years actually, because I first heard of them when the guys were like cooking out of their mum's kitchen, and here we are in their soft launch restaurant, and we've ordered the full bucket, which comes with, you have a choice of lobster tail or crab claw. We've gone for lobster, and it also has 5 bang bang prawns, of which I've had one because the simba's taken too long and I'm hungry. Which was actually really, really good. It's nice and juicy. Mac and cheese. There's an Oreo top waffle, but today we've got it with Pebble cereal. I don't really care for that, really. I got some Cajun guys, some corn with butter, and it also comes with an egg, and I don't know if I mentioned the mac and cheese as well. So I'm excited to tuck in the simba.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, let's trap it out.
So, guys, if you remember, like in a previous episode, we spoke about the porn star martini. So, Nastasha, I don't think she has tried a porn star martini. So, I ordered one today. So, she's gonna try it and give you her honest opinion after she enjoys this corn.
So, I want to say, like, the one sad thing about this menu, I love everything. Well, I haven't got to everything on the plate. I've just had the sweet corn. But the one sad thing about the menu is there's no chips. And like having chips is like the best winner. Like, you can make so much money out of like chips, because chips will literally be running out of the kitchen. And I think that's one shame thing about it, not having fries. And I enjoy, like, it's got mac and cheese and the Spanish rice, but I think having fries, like I literally grabbed the menu again just because I wanted to order a portion of fries. But other than that, yeah.
That butter stuff, that's like this buttery stuff. You know me and my descriptions are not the best, but this corn and this butter stuff, that's really tasty.
Yeah. I'm the type of person, because I didn't get fries now, I'm gonna go buy a portion of fries afterwards.
You're gonna buy fries after this?
Yeah, because it needs fries. Like, you can't have lobster and not have fries. Like, come on. In any restaurant, chips, yeah, they'll tell you chips is the thing that sells out the most. Like, you buy bags of it and you're guaranteed to sell all of it. Even if you're charging like £4 a portion, I'm still gonna buy it. 3-4 pounds a portion, I'm still gonna buy it. The Simba don't want no hard-boiled egg. I don't mind a hard-boiled egg. But if it was soft-boiled and you could literally crush it over the lobster, winner.
But for me, if it was a poached egg,
Yeah. Go on.
okay, yeah, if it was a poached egg, like that would have been perfect. Like just a poached egg, a tiny bit of salt on there.
The hard-boiled egg, no, it's not.
Even some really cool bread just to like really dip in that, and with all of this would really go really well. Even your chips in there.
Oh, now we want the chips. Like I said to you, like if there was chips, like I wouldn't be. I don't even think I'm complaining. I just think if the egg was soft boiled and you could crack that over the lobster, or even crack that over like the sweet corn, that would be lovely.
So Nastasia's now trying the mac and cheese. Let me try it as well, actually. That is good. That is really good.
I'm eating the lobster now.
Okay, so I don't think I've had mac and cheese like that before. I taste a bit of sweetness. I don't know if it's because I poured. Okay, there's some maple syrup. I just poured it and everything. But I don't know if it's because of that. But there's a hint of sweetness, but a bit of pepper. It's spiced, it's seasoned. Like, yeah, this mac and cheese is nice.
Definitely the best mac and cheese I've had. It still doesn't make up for no chips, but it's definitely like the best mac and cheese. The spices.
So for people listening, she just made like the perfect sign basically. She's enjoying it. Yes. What is this one again?
So these are, if I can put the close to the camera. These are Cajun chicken thighs. I went for Cajun instead of barbecue because we always have barbecue. Oh, sorry.
So I just tried some of this waffle. It's got like these fruit toppings. Like, is it fruit cereal or something like that?
So
My chicken almost fell off the plate. I had to rescue that real quick.
it's pebble cereal. It's just like fruity pebble cereal.
So it's alright, but for me it should be more pancake. It looks more like a pancake than a waffle. It's a bit thin.
Yeah, I think I personally looked at it and thought if they had a fatter waffle, it would make sense. If they had a bigger waffle, like the waffles that you have when you have chicken and waffles, it would have been a banger. But I think the flat waffles kind of just like, it's like a pancake. And if they had rolled it up like a pancake, it makes sense. But I'm still trying to make sense of what the cereal has got to, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a thing that I'm not into. Waffle and cereal, I've never
done that waffle and cereal myself, so.
So I've had the lobster already. I don't know if it's fair to compare it with like other lobster I've tasted. It's good. I think I prefer the prawns.
I haven't had a prawn yet, so.
Yeah, I've had the prawns and I really enjoy the prawns. I think the lobster to me is probably, I don't know, from the previous lobster I've had, it's never been really, I think it's really tough. Is that the right description? It's not as tender as I expected it to be. I know lobster is very meaty, but I would have liked it a little bit more tender, just a little bit more.
So I'm about to try it. Let me show you guys. Ooh, see that big lobster? Okay, for our YouTube watchers, this lobster is quite big. I like the portion sizes.
You know what? It's because I've always had half a lobster. Like literally, I'm just a greedy bitch. But the portion sizes are really good, actually.
Cool. So let's see what it's saying.
I think because I'm a cake person and I make my own like waffles and my own pancake. The pancake, like these waffles, just need to be bigger and fluffier. I don't dig the thin waffles only because you lose so much fluffiness. And I swear, if this was cakey, And the waffle, yeah, it needs to be just thicker, and just even you don't even need to give like customers like a whole big fluffy waffle. It's two big chunky corners. You're good. But yeah, if it was bigger and fluffy, like thicker, that's the word. If it was thicker rather than the thin ones, this would have been perfect.
So for me, the lobster, it's good, but I get what you mean. It's a bit tough. I don't think I've had tough lobster before.
That's what I mean. I'm just trying to think back to my experiences and having lobster. My brother cooks pretty much really perfect lobster, and I remember a couple of Christmases ago we had lobster. That was really tender, and this is just a bit tough. It's not as tender as I would like it. Yeah, I think with fish you've got to always be so careful. Like, fish doesn't need long cooking, and I think that's where, you know, like, fish doesn't need that long. Like, even if you cook like fresh fish, like that's a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes max on a grill, just because you want the tenderness of it. You want it to be quite soft, because the longer you cook it, the chewier it gets, and it gets really dry really quickly.
Yeah, 100%. Fish doesn't need that long at all. Like, there's a lot of flavour in fish. You don't even need to season fish that much either. I'm not saying it's bad. I like it, but it's just a tiny bit tough. These Cajun fries, I mean...
You want chips, innit? He wants chips. I told you, we're going to get chips after this, because, like, literally... I'm going home to buy a bag of chips, because... This chips would have rounded this off, and in my head, I would really wanted fries tonight as well. If they had Cajun fries or sweet potato fries, oh man!
You know, even if they had, some fries with like some Parmesan cheese and truffle oil on it.
I was just about to say the same thing, or even like deep fried halloumi fries.
Well, who knows? Maybe this is something for them to add. It's real simple to add, really. And but yeah, this Cajun thighs, like this is nice. I'm enjoying this one.
The Cajun chicken is really nice. Yeah. If you had a thicker waffle against the chunk against the chicken with the syrup, that would have been a winner for me. So yeah. I just want chips. I actually just want chips. I even want to slyly ask the waitress, like, yo, I know you got some potatoes behind there. Just do your thing, innit? Just do your thing right about now.
So, those prawns were banging. Those were some good, tasty prawns, like dipped in that butter as well. Like, yeah, that really sets it off.
Yeah, the waffle was a no from me, doll. Lobster, I would have liked it a bit, like, I think, has it got to the end of the tail, it got more tender, so definitely I would have liked to add that kind of tenderness. The mac and cheese was awesome. The chicken thighs were awesome. The prawns were awesome. The butter sauce was awesome. But I am going to buy some chips. I'm sorry, guys. I just really want chips. I honestly really want chips. But I honestly, I think for me, the waffle thing, I don't understand it very well. Like, it just comes with cereal and syrup. And I'm just like, is that a thing? I don't know.
So me, I kind of like the whole chicken and waffles thing. So
yeah, I like it. I like chicken and waffles, don't get me wrong, but in this setup, I just don't understand what it's supposed to.
Yeah, it didn't drop.
It doesn't add anything from it. Doesn't. It's not like, it's just kind of like, oh, there's a waffle with cereal on it,
and it's flat. So yeah, don't come for the waffle, but like everything else.
Everything else, like the waffles are just a bit like. I think if I was to say, like, keep it on the menu, the improvement would be to make them fluffier. and to make them thicker, like the chicken and waffle, the actual kind of, because this flat waffle kind of just seems like, you know, like that kind of like bedroom food, like that, like old school American bedroom food. Like you're watching a film and they live in an actual trap house, and it's just like, oh, let's have like waffles, and you see the waffles, it's like some thin, mad, like. You get what I mean? Is that
I'm not sure exactly. For me, it reminds me of something you get.
It reminds me of like trap waffles. Yeah, the place is called like Trap Kitchen, but it does. But in the sense of just to kind of elevate where this is going, I would have the thicker pancakes. I wouldn't just ride on all of like the notions of what trap is. I would literally just elevate. Like if that was big and fluffy with like the cereal on it, I could understand it a bit better, but it's just flat and it doesn't look, it's just like there. I ate it because it was there, not because I was just like, oh, okay, there's a waffle.
I ate because I'm hungry.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, just a little bit. Let me ask you. I've learned that you told me that because Simba knows that he was timing that, so he knew about that. It's alright. Simba said when he lets everybody take what they need, and then literally. I learned that. Like, Simba told me that he lets everybody take what they need, yeah. And then once he said, no, you don't want no more, he eating it all. Like, don't get this nigga wrong. He be eating, like, he's here to enjoy.
Nastasha's memory is not a joke. Like, she literally remembers everything. Can't hoodwink her. You know what I like about this mac and cheese? You know, sometimes some people overdo it. And what I mean by that, they do, we've got 5 different cheeses, we've got da-da-da-da-da, and it's just like too much going on. Like, this is simple, but yet tasty at the same time. Like, the crust is just right, it's not burnt, it's not overdone, the pasta's just the right, it's not al dente, but it's just the right. Like, yeah, the pasta's live.
I have nothing more to add, but it was actually superb. Like, I make my own mac and cheese, and I'm just like, now they throw my mac and cheese under the bus because this is tops. Because like Lisimba said, usually the mac and cheeses that I've tasted in the past, they're overly cheesy, and it's like, as much as it's called mac and cheese, I do kind of want to break. And it's a very subtle, the cheese is very subtle, and it lets the spices live. Like, I can taste the seasoning in it. And usually with mac and cheese, the cheese is so overpowering that you can't really taste that. It's just like cheese. But this is gorgeous. Like, this is actually brilliant mac and cheese. Like, can't fault it at all. But can you have chips, please?
That's the Londoner in her.
No, I will forever sing about the chips, you know, because I actually really, really good at chips.
So Trap Kitchen is, I guess, a stone throw away from like Balham Station. Probably perhaps about a 5-minute walk around the corner.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get the lights. Technical difficulties. The butter sauce was like banging, but like that, like made the whole meal come together. The egg. Nah, we must leave eggs at home sometimes.
Yeah, it was just a boiled egg.
Yeah, like it needs to be a soft boiled egg, like not a hard boiled, because no, we're not doing hard boiled. Hard boiled eggs is like mayonnaise. Like if you're not mayonnaise, if you're making egg mayonnaise sandwich, but there's no sandwich making on this.
Yeah, this butter. Look at me, butter. This butter sauce was banging, 100%.
Butter sauce. Banging on those corn, I would like literally here. Okay, if I'm gonna assess the whole menu, what I would do is actually boost up what you get. Like, it's cool, but I think there could be like with the corn, I could definitely be. I think it's. I don't know if it's mad expensive, but I would definitely be doing not one corn and cutting it in half. I would definitely have a corn, like at least like 4 little cobs on there, because you can cut that corn up like and be more generous with that. I definitely add fries to the menu, because if I'm being honest, fries will spin you so much revenue on any menu. I think it's a no-brainer of why you don't even, I know cafes that don't, like, I know Italian places that don't even, you know, do burgers, but they've got fries on the menu because they know it's a money spinner, like, you know. And I think that, especially with the angle that you're hitting at, if you're going to have a restaurant, you need to have fries. Like whatever you choose to do the fries with, they could be yam fries, they could be halloumi fries, they could be sweet potato. Like sweet potato would go perfect, or not even. You don't even have to have like fries. You could do sweet potato wedges. Like that is southern comfort food, definitely. Or if you don't even want to have fries, why don't we have a sweet potato mash? Like, yo, sweet potato mash on here would be absolutely dope. It would kill it. But once again, this is a soft launch, so they're looking for reviews. They're looking for people to get back to them and what they think. And I definitely feel like having a bit more carbs is not going to hurt. So definitely having those fries, either the sweet potato mash, would definitely be good. The lobster, in my opinion, I could have done this whole thing by myself, like literally. And this week we went for the full bucket, but that's me being like, maybe because I haven't eaten all day, so like literally my hunger is more like my belly's bigger than my eyes right now. So lobster was good. My preference is the prawns. I think my lobster, like I said, it was a bit too tough. I'd like it a little bit more tender. With the butter sauce, it was amazing. I wouldn't mind a little bit more seasoning on it, but I think the butter makes up for that, and I think that's why the butter's there, so can't complain on that. The chicken thighs are very well seasoned. Can't complain about that. Yum. The star of this whole thing was the mac and cheese. Mac and cheese stole the show for me. Like, I don't know about Listen, but...
Start a show. Yeah, I kind of like the prawns as well, you know. Like, but yeah, it's prawns close second. But yeah, mac and cheese definitely coming in first. I was just thinking about what you were saying about like adding carbs and stuff, and it made me think. Everything here, what I do like is everything here tastes fresh. It does feel like they've spent a lot of time and work has gone into what they made. I do like that, but like. The carbs, whether it's like the sweet corn or the fries or chips, it just help people feeling like their belly's full when they left.
And that's what's missing. And that's the thing that's missing, because if I'm being honest, I can order everything that I've ordered here again, and I guarantee you I'm still asking for fries afterwards. And that's the thing, I'm still going home. On my way home, I will be buying fries. I will be purchasing some chips, only because I think it was a shame not to have it on the side. Like, I would have loved sweet potato fries or even sweet potato mash. And I think that's the thing that's probably missing here, that belly full kind of feeling. So I'm not going home with my belly full. Like we say, we like to give you a belly full. I could literally probably go home. I'm definitely going home to have my dessert. Like, I don't know what I'm picking up along the way, but I'm definitely like that carb, like just to have that carb, like those fries or that mash or that sweet potato mash or those yam, even a yam mash or something, just to make you feel like, yo, that's rounded up everything nice, because this is lovely and light. This is like a lunchtime meal, but if it's a dinner time meal, we need that extra.
The other thing I'll just add is that me and Nastasha are actually here on our pre-Valentine's date. So this is a very nice cozy corner. So if you come sit in this corner, very cozy. There's actually a couple nice corners in here.
Valentine's. This is my Valentine's, people. He's my Valentine. He actually told me I smelled good today. He was like, "Oh my gosh, Natasha, I should take you out more often." I was like,
"Yeah, I've been being shortchanged. Do you know what I mean? On the weekends when we record, coming and smelling all nice and stuff. I'm like, hey, what's this? We're going out more often, you know." So.
Oh my god! You know what? I suddenly feel like, yo, is he throwing shade? What do I smell like? A weekday?
Nah, not even. Not even. But look, you smell nice. That's a good thing.
Like, honestly, that's like such a big compliment. Like, not to say that people don't tell me I smell, but even to go like, whoa, what's this right here? No, thanks.
So yeah, 100% recommend coming down for a day. You know, overall, although like we're saying a few negatives or just pointing out some.
It's not even negative. Like, once again, this is like a soft launch, yeah? So not everything is going to be in place. They're just testing out and testing the waters to see what's working and what's not. And this is the best way to do it. I thoroughly enjoyed all the food here. Like, me saying I just want chips, I'm just being a greedy bitch. Like, I just like chips. But thoroughly, honestly, I was expecting not to like the mac and cheese, if I'm being honest, because there's so many times I've tasted mac and cheese and I've left the plate full. I've not touched it. But Lucinda was asking, are you done? Because Lucinda wanted all of the mac and cheese. He wanted the whole freaking mac and cheese. I enjoy the mac and cheese. We still got a piece of chicken left. I mean, it's good. Like, the seasoning's on point. Like, these guys are doing it. Like, and I've waited, like I said, a couple of years to try this, and it's been worth the wait. So I'm only just want chips, but overall, like, I definitely, my solid on a soft launch, I'm going to give them 7.5. Because I think that 2.5 not to hit it, that shows that there's room for graduation and room for improvement. Means that when they do finally open up, I know it's going to be a 10 straight up. I would say everybody come down to a trap kitchen, come try it. I liked it.
I'm gonna recommend it. I'm gonna say come down. I'm gonna go for 7. So I just like the stuff that it needs to do is just so minor, but I'm gonna go for 7.
And I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think me saying it's an 8, I think that would be a lie. But 7.5 for me, like, you know, like bigger waffles, more chips, like have chips on the menu. Look at the sweet corn portions again, you know, and let people come away feeling like the value for money is great. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing that you've always got to do. Yeah, so
100%. Porn star martini. We're trying to get Nastasha drunk out here today. We spoke about drinking more. Yeah, Nastasha's getting drunk tonight.
He honestly doesn't want me to wake up tomorrow.
She's gonna be hibernating tomorrow.
This porn star martini, he's getting Nastasha drunk. Apparently, I'm being made drunk today. How do you have your porn star martini?
Cool. So basically, for those that don't know, the porn star martini comes with a little shot prosecco. Some people like to pour it in. Some people like to drink it as a shot. Me, I just knock it back to the head.
So, am I taking the shot first, or am I?
Yeah. Straight to the head.
You're obviously taking me home. He's obviously getting me this Uber home. I don't. Right. Lasimba's obviously getting me this Uber home about, like, he's trying to get me, like, drunk, like, literally. So my porn star martini. And the Prosecco. So how do you have your porn star martini? Am I, like, knocking it back?
Yeah, straight to the head.
Hey. Shut. Okay. You know what? That's actually really, really good. That's really delicious. That's actually, you know what? Knocking the Prosecco back and that fizzy, and then you drink that juice. Well, I don't know if it tastes like fruit juice to me. That's really, really good. I like that too. That combination, yeah. Maybe my new drink. I've been a gin and tonic kind of lady as of recent, but he's trying to convert me. Yeah, that was good.
So guys, I want to thank you for listening to another episode of Juice and the Sauce. As always, you can find us on all the social channels, so whether that's YouTube, especially YouTube, you can watch the show on there, especially all the Flavour from the Continent stuff as well. Don't forget, tweet us what you like of the show or things that you'd like to see moving forward. And don't forget, you can follow us over on Facebook and on Instagram as well.
Yes, and listen on Spotify, Apple, and SoundCloud.
100%. All right, guys. Well, thank you for listening and thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.
Bye.